Hello friends, we will see in this video how to write a cell notation or a representation of a galvanic cell in an easiest way. And this cell representation in a correct way is an important step in electrochemistry, and it is also the gateway to solve any types of problems related to it, even in case of NERNST equation too. So let's get started. In a problem generally we have two electrodes and we have to decide which one would be your anode and which one would be your cathode. Out of this two electrodes, isn't it? And how you are going to decide which metal would be your anode and which one would be your cathode? Very simple. You have to just go to the electrochemical series for the reactivity of that metal. If the metal is more reactive, then that metal would be your anode. If it is less reactive, then it is your cathode. Hope you have understood up to this. And while representing a cell or galvanic cell, anode is always written on the left hand side. Let us take an example of a galvanic cell, Daniell cell, where two electrodes are copper and zinc. Out of copper and zinc, zinc is more reactive than copper, so it becomes your anode. And it is written on the left hand side, and while representing a cell also, we will keep zinc in zinc sulfate in the left hand side and copper in copper sulfate in the right hand side. And copper is the positive electrode or the cathode, zinc is the negative electrode or the anode. Once you construct a galvanic cell, then it is easy for you to note or represent the cell. Let's start with the salt breeze because it is the middle of the cell. And left hand side of the salt breeze is the anode and right hand side of the salt breeze is the cathode. See how nicely you can represent on your own. The salt breeze is connected to the zinc sulfate, so first you have to write down the zinc ion, then it is connected to zinc electrode, so zinc metal, and similarly the other side salt breeze is connected to copper sulfate solution or copper ion, and which is connected to your metallic copper. Now let us clearly write the cell representation properly. So metallic zinc, which is solid, followed by zinc ion or Zn2 plus aqueous from zinc sulfate solution. So the vertical line is for solid aqueous interface. Then double bar or double vertical line for salt breeze, and then followed by copper ion solution or copper sulfate, aqueous, and copper which is solid. In between salt breeze and the arrow above the salt breeze represent the flow of electrons. There is a simple term alone, A-L-O-N-E, and by remembering this word you can represent the cell very nicely. Let's see what it will say. So A stands for anode, L stands for left hand side, O stands for oxidation, and lastly the Ne stands for negative electrode of the cell. So guys, isn't it interesting? So by remembering the simple term alone, you can write down the anode or the left hand side of the cell, and it also tells about the type of reactions or the oxidation reaction that is going to be taking place at anode only, and anode is the negative electrode of the cell. Once you will write the anode, then cathode can be written easily, as well as the type of reaction, that is reduction reaction is taking place at the cathode, and it is the positive electrode of the cell. This cell representation can help you in solving many problems based on electrode potential. So remember alone and write the cell notation correctly and do solve the problem. Thanks for watching and sharing.